Okay, here we are. We're live. Here's Dr. John.
Hello everybody, thank you for attending Living Your Best Life. And we're going to talk about not only extending your lifespan, but extending your lifespan, which is really much more important because no one wants to be living and be unhealthy. So we're going to talk about the different things that end up making for a healthy, longer life. So basically we're going to break it down. What can you do to extend the span and quality of your life? Number one is resistance training and exercise. Always a cornerstone of being healthy. Good healthy muscles make a big difference in how long you live and how healthy you are. Eating well and eating enough protein, another very important thing to do for a healthy life. Good quality sleep is also very important. Staying connected. Social connections, they find make a bigger difference in lifespan than many other things. And then we're also going to talk about different supplements that can help extend your life. So we're going to talk about, first thing we'll talk about is resistance training. So what makes you have a longer, muscle is actually a longevity work. So having better muscles actually helps you extend your life. I heard Dr. Hyman say that one of the most important things for life extension is healthy muscles and maintaining healthy muscles. And as we age, our muscles break down, so the one way we can keep better muscles is to do a certain amount of resistance training. So they also, muscle strength, muscle mass helps to prevent falls. It helps to prevent broken bones, broken hips, which have high mortality rates. Having stronger muscles improves insulin sensitivity, also helps with blood sugar and controlling your blood sugar. Supporting brain health. Healthy muscles also support brain health and cognitive function, and they maintain mobility, health span, and lifespan. You see a lot of people nowadays, unfortunately, as they've gotten older, they haven't taken care of, and they've lost their mobility. Again, it makes a big difference in the quality of life that you can have. This is the system I use for resistance training. I love it because it's very simple. I was going to the gym and I found this is much easier. It takes me about usually about 15 minutes, and I do it 4 times a week. It's a very simple system. It actually just consists of different resistance bands, a plate, and a bar. And basically you do 4 exercises one day and 4 exercises the next day. Do those 2 days a week, and you get really good results with a very simple system to be able to work out at home and not have to go anywhere, safe from going to the gym. So it's a nice, simple way of being able to, and the other nice thing I like about this is if I'm traveling, it just packs up real easily. I can take it with me and work out while I'm on the road. So it's very important to walk. Also, you want to maintain your heart health. So walking and balance, anywhere from 7,000 to 15,000 steps a day, or we're healthy. The other thing is when you walk outside, they find that actually green space or being out in the nature really does help lower stress. It lowers cortisol levels, reduces the stress in your body. It helps with depression. Also, by being out and walking, it helps with balance, and keeping your balance is very important also. Protein and eating well. Have this simple way of eating, making sure you're getting enough protein every day. Right now, you really want to get about 90 to 100 grams, depending on your body weight, of protein a day, and that's to maintain your muscle mass also. So feeds that your muscles are made of for protein. If you aren't getting enough protein, you're not going to be able to maintain your muscles well. And so a simple diet, like here we're talking about for breakfast, 2 eggs. That gives you 12 grams of protein. 1 cup of Greek yogurt gives you 18 grams of protein. So there's about 30 grams of protein in one meal. Lunch, 4 to 5 ounces of salmon or chicken with some vegetables to give you, get your vegetables in with it. But the 4 to 5 ounces of salmon or chicken give you about 25 to 30 grams of protein. At dinner, 4 to 5 ounces, or even maybe a little more, depending on your size. You might want to get, maybe go up to 8 or so. You're going to get 25 to 30 grams again of protein. And then snacks, you can have cottage cheese, cheese sticks, nuts, other things to bring additional protein in. But aim to have about 25 to 40 grams of protein per meal. Leucine-rich fruit, you need leucine to really maintain muscle. So leucine is a very important amino acid in the body. And you want foods that are high in that, which would be eggs and dairy and meat and fish. And also it's helpful to make sure you're not eating all your protein in one meal. Don't save it all up for supper. Make sure you spread it throughout the day so you're getting it throughout the day. And again, if you pair that with resistance training, you're going to build muscle and maintain level. Sleep is very important for aging. Poor sleep actually accelerates our aging, while as deep sleep, it actually helps the brain clear out the toxins. It helps everything. It helps to reset the stress in your levels in your body. It helps with cortisol. So also, if you're not getting enough sleep, it increases inflammation in your body. You lose it. People that don't get enough sleep, they don't have the same insulin control, and their blood sugar levels fluctuate much more. So inadequate sleep raises different things we have to worry about: heart disease, dementia, falls, and also sleep. Deep sleep, especially deep sleep, helps to increase growth hormone levels. And the growth hormone levels, very expensive hormone to buy, but you can get it from sleep, and it's a good way to keep yourself healthy. So what to do to sleep better? Aim for 7 to 9 hours a night. Keep a regular sleep-wake cycle. Get morning sunlight. So when you get up in the morning, try to get outside for about 10-15 minutes. Gets a little stimulation that helps to complete the cycle. Dark shades in the bedroom to keep it dark. Very helpful. It makes the bedroom darker, helps you get into a deeper sleep. Also avoid caffeine. For many people, very caffeine sensitive. Maybe in the morning time they're good, but at any time after noon can be difficult for many people. Exercise can be helpful, and but don't exercise too late, because if you exercise too late, then you're going to kind of wake yourself up and it'd be difficult to sleep. And create yourself a routine that you're ready for bed at night. Maybe it's reading. The other thing that I don't have here that's also very helpful is to sometimes use blue blocking. You can get blue blocking on your computer if you're using your laptop at night. Also, you can get glasses, your yellow glasses to wear. I use those every night to help with my sleep.
You put that on before you go to sleep?
I put them on while I'm reading at night. So I wear the glasses while I put them on around a couple hours before I go to bedtime, but some people put them on even earlier. Like they'll wear them from like 5 o'clock to block the blue out. So they just help you get into a deeper sleep. So I use them with my computer. I have blue blocking on my computer, and I also use them with the computer too, just to keep it down. But they'd be very helpful for sleep. So staying connected. So social connections are a huge indicator for longevity. So staying isolated is not good for health. It's not good for us. And just creating a routine where you're meeting with certain people, or you're going to church, or you're going to your different types of commitments that make a big difference in having connections. So having those connections create a better lifestyle for everybody to be healthy. So the way to do it is prioritize a regular in-person contact. So weekly is powerful. Set meetings with friends, make sure you get time with them. Combine connections with movement. So it's a good, if you can walk together, take a walk with somebody, another good way of doing it. Stay involved in different groups, faith, volunteer in clubs. And again, the internet is not a good way to actually have connections. Facebook is not it doesn't make up for for actual in-person commitment. So next we'll talk about different supplements. So one of the things I think that's very important is most people just don't get the basics. And they think, you know, we're in a society where we think we can even if we're trying really hard to eat well and eating a lot of greens and vegetables, it's just the fact that we've actually we over-farm many areas, and what we've done is we've depleted the nutrients in the ground, and so they're not getting into the vegetables. And you'll talk to people who've eaten different places where they farm more. The taste is entirely different than the organic ones, and it makes a huge difference. But the problem is you just can't get that every day, and you aren't being able to eat that every day. So a multivitamin just helps to fill in the gaps and make sure that you're getting the nutrients that you needed. And they found that some recent research has shown that does have extend on keeping different diseases away in that also. Vitamin D, you know, really more of a hormone than it is a vitamin. So it serves both ways, but it's essential for immune health, it's essential for bone health. And in Connecticut right now, there's just no way. You could be out in the sun all day today, or even when sunny in the wintertime, you're not going to, because of the position of the sun, you're not going to get enough sun to make enough vitamin D. So, you know, I like to supplement with at least 5,000 a day. A lot of people, I think the minimum is 2,000 that most people should use. I will oftentimes just stick 5,000 throughout the year, and sometimes even if there's like a flu season coming around, I'll go up to 10,000. But definitely a great way. Now, the one thing I'll say about vitamin D that I think is very important to understand is vitamin D, while it helps your immune system and everything, but it also does help with calcium. But it directs calcium into tissues. And so it will direct it into bone, but it will also direct it into your arteries where you don't want it to go, unless you're combining it with vitamin K. Hi, how are you?
In your face.
So you
Yeah, you're
take it with
live
vitamin K.
recording right now.
So you want to have vitamin K, you want your vitamin D combined with vitamin K because that directs it into the bone rather than the arteries. In fact, you know, some people use high doses of vitamin K even to just help keep their arteries clean. So it's a good thing to be able to use the make sure you look for a D. You know, unless you have you're taking Coumadin, you don't want to take vitamin K with Coumadin, but it's a great way of actually helping. So, and fish oil again reduces inflammation, supports the joints. It's hard to get the good quality fats these days. So taking a cup of fish oil a day, I think it's very helpful to make sure take them all together. I take mine all in the morning, and you know, before I leave, and it's a great way. Yeah, and again, I suggest taking it with food because if you're taking a fish oil, you want the mixed with food to help absorb it better because your gallbladder is going to help to absorb it. Muscle preservation. So again, this is a supplement that's specifically for muscle preservation. We talked about strength training, we talked about muscles and how Dr. Hyman felt that muscles were one of the most important things we have for anti-aging. So maintaining that's very important. This is a peptide that actually helps to stimulate muscle growth. So it actually increases the hormone in the muscle that makes it, and there's research on it. They did a study where they had one group of people take whey protein and one group of people took the peptide. And in the 56 days, the group that was taking the peptide had a 20% increase in strength over the whey group. They did another study where they took two groups of people. One had whey protein, one took the peptide. They braced them so that they couldn't move their knee. And then what they did is they looked and saw what happened after they rehabbed it. So when you brace anything, your muscles are going to atrophy.
Right.
What happened is afterwards, the group that had the whey protein, they only got back to 86% of their strength, whereas with the peptide, they got back to 106% of their strength. So
Is there a way to measure your muscle?
Yeah, there's different ways of, you know, in clinical settings, but most people, you won't find that in doctors' offices or that, but they have like equipment that does that, so, in research settings. But yeah, no, it's a great product. You know, this is one of the products that, you know, so many people are doing Ozempic right now. You know, the GLP-1 agonist for weight loss, and you know, the problem with that is that about 20 to 40%, depending on which one, of the weight loss is from muscle loss.
Ooh, didn't know that.
Yeah, and the problem with muscle loss is that's what burns your fat too. The muscles burn the fat. So what happens is once you get off the Ozempic, then you've got less muscle to actually be able to keep that weight off, and then you get this yo-yo thing where you really it becomes difficult. So, you know, so I have some of my clinics that work with that. They actually then prescribe this with it, because then with a little weight resistance and with this, it helps to maintain that muscle and keep that there. So. So telomeres are really important, I think, and there's been a lot of work on telomeres and telomeres protecting you. So the telomeres, you have a house, but you have a roof on your house to protect your house. You have a DNA, and the telomeres are like the roof of your house, where they protect your DNA from being damaged. Because when you get damaged DNA, that's when you start to age. And so by having longer it's like having longer telomeres, it's like having redoing your roof on your house. And this is a new peptide. It's really cutting edge. I think this is very interesting. It's called progeneline propeptide. It increases progenitor cells. And progenitor cells are like similar to stem cells, but they're more specific. So they work in specific tissues. And so this increases that. And in the research they did in one study on it, they found that they had 8.6% drop in blood sugar in the group on average. 93% of the participants had reduced blood sugar. They also had a reduction of C-reactive protein, which is inflammation, and which also affects aging. They also had a reduction in cholesterol. But interestingly, they had a 14% increase in telomere length in white blood cells and 5% in beta cells. So this actually real interesting product can help increase telomere length. And it's a very simple product, takes just one a day. So I've been taking it since it came out because I want to keep my telomeres long. So, and
What does telomere do for you?
so that they basically, like I said, if you think of it like they protect the DNA from being damaged. So they're there to keep. So it's like if you have hail coming down on your house, if you have a roof there that protects your house. If you don't have a roof, everything's coming in. So basically what happens is you have oxidation coming along and coming to damage DNA. But if you have the telomeres there, then they protect it from getting to your DNA and doing the damage to your DNA.
The first line of defense.
Yeah. Cellular aging and senescent cells. So, there's you get basically these senescent cells. So you have the mitochondria, the powerhouse in the body, and they give us energy. And so, but what happens is when they get old, they don't do anything. They become zombie cells. And if you have, so right here we have 8 seats or 7 seats. But if you took and you put if you think of a senescent cell, you take and put like a dummy in 5 of the seats, you don't have room for any people. But you maybe have 2 people, but the rest are dummies that can't do anything. So that's what happens if you have senescent cells. They're in the way blocking you from being able to have that functionality. So what we have is, so basically what this does is this actually clears them out. This is basically to take and clear out those to make room for more to grow. So this is a nice product to use. It's something I use occasionally. I don't use it continually. I use it as to kind of like every few months to kind of clear everything out, make sure there's that. Again, to make healthy room for mitochondria in that. Yeah.
So what would be the exact schedule? You said every few months, like one a month on and
Yeah,
3 months
I
off?
take 1 month out and take like 3 months off. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how I use it.
Okay.
Other people, some people take it continuously, but I figure it's a good way of doing it, getting it cleared out and making room for the other mitochondria. So,
Okay.
John,
and
can we have a copy of the presentation?
um, Joy?
Yeah.
Copy the presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
Yep. And so this is an interesting product. So taurine and glycine, I've been taking both. I like them both, and both of these. So these are amino acids in the body, but they decline as we get older. And so this is a nice product to bring both of those up. And what I like about this product is because it kind of goes back to sleep. We talked about sleep being helpful as anti-aging. Well, these are two things I use for sleep. Glycine is very helpful for sleep. It actually drops the body temperature a little bit. You need to actually drop your body temperature before you fall asleep. And it also enhances deep sleep or stage 3 sleep. So it kind of helps you get to sleep, but it also helps you sleep deep. Yeah.
So how would that be in comparison to like melatonin?
Melatonin.
Pill.
So it's melatonin works for some people very well. Melatonin usually helps you get to sleep.
Okay.
So I don't like melatonin if you get to sleep and you can go to sleep easily, but you wake up. Melatonin is really not the thing to use because melatonin can help you get to sleep. You should want to take it a little while beforehand. You walk through.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Is that also powder, so you put it in your water?
Yeah, you mix it with water. The glycine one of my friends actually uses glycine alone as a sweetener for coffee because she doesn't want to get any sugar, and glycine's amino acid, you're getting pure protein.
So you take it in the morning?
No, you would take this before you go to bed. I think that's the best time to take it if you're especially helping with sleep.
Decaf.
Yeah. Now
Right. You go to bed.
yeah, it can be, like I said, it has kind of a little sweet flavor, so it really isn't too bad. And
Right.
taurine, the other amino acid, taurine actually helps to increase GABA. And GABA in the brain is a hormone that actually helps to relax you. So a lot of people have stress issues, and that's where this can be helpful with the stress that you may get, also for sleep. So I think this is a great combination to combine with sleep and also as anti-aging. So, and I think so. This happens to be one of my favorites, the Inato-E, delta and gamma tocotrienol. So it does so much. This is you've all heard of vitamin E, and vitamin E is actually made of 8 different components. So there's 4 tocopherols, they're alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and then there's 4 tocotrienols, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. And the interesting thing is, this is actually just 2 of the tocotrienols, and there's a variety of research on this in different capacities and what it does. The interesting thing about it is in all the research what they find is that if you combine it with alpha tocopherol, one of the tocopherols, you don't get the benefits. And so it's interesting, it will change into alpha tocopherol in the body, so you don't need the alpha tocopherol, but if you take it with it, it's a problem. So I've been taking this since I started with the company when I learned about it. So taking it for over 7 years now. It does a lot of different things. I mean, it supports cardiovascular health. It helps cholesterol. It's very effective at lowering triglycerides. But what it does with cholesterol is I kind of like picture cholesterol. It gets oxidized. Remember Pac-Man? And I figure with cholesterol is like that. It goes around, and if it gets oxidized, it goes around and it grabs electron from the vein, and it takes that, and that's where it causes scar tissue or damage. And that's how it does damage. If you don't have oxidized cholesterol, it's just a fat, and it's not going to do the damage. So this helps to keep the cholesterol from becoming oxidized. This is just, as far as an antioxidant goes, fat soluble antioxidant, it's about 50 times stronger than most fat soluble antioxidants. So it helps to protect the cell membranes. It's most important, it's more potent than any type of normal vitamin E. Again, it goes to your mitochondrial integrity, inflammation signaling, supports bone health. There's research on this helping with bone health, so it helps keep your bone density. There's actually even research on this helping to reverse non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is unfortunately about 25% of the population. So helps skin health, helps, there's research on it with cataracts, even on cancer. So they did one study with pancreatic where they treated with higher doses, but they ended up doubling the lifespan when combined with chemotherapy. So it's a really, again, it's kind of become one of the things I've been taking every day since it's a good product. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I think that in the cholesterol world, that's where it really helps. It keeps that cholesterol from doing damage, and that's what's really important. So I'm trying to think. And it does so much. There's so much research on it that it's cataracts, bone health, bone density, cancer, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I just think it's one of those things. One of those things I think is great for everybody.
Just have to be careful that the other supplements don't have the right blood vitamins.
Yeah, that's the thing is if you have a supplement that has alpha-copper on it, like a multi that has vitamin E in it, you have to take it 6 hours away or the vitamin E will block it.
Do they let you know this on
They should tell you, the Designs for Health, we only use the Annatto E in it. So our vitamin E is this vitamin E in the multi, so it's not
Right.
going to block it. So we have, yeah.
Is it the primal vitamin E that you have?
Primal,
'Cause that's the
primal
one
is,
you take.
yeah, that's good with it. You can take
So
that.
that has
Yeah, that has.
Oh, okay, that's what I take.
Yeah, that's the Primal Multi is a great one for that. So, yeah, that's a good, how do you feel on that multi?
It's good, but I take it every other day. Should
Oh,
I take it daily? Or I just take it every other day.
You should take it daily. It's ideally if you take it daily. I've had a lot of people feel a lot more energy.
Oh,
So, it might be worth doing that. Any other questions?
I take it daily, but I think it says 4, right?
4 a day, yeah.
I only take 2.
You want to, I mean, it's important, even if you were to do, you're better off doing 2 a day. If you're not doing 4, rather than doing 4 every other day.
You have to do 2 in the evening, right?
What's that?
If you do 4, you have to take 2 in the evening.
I take everything at once, but I'm lazy. Well, I think, here's the thing, well, the problem with taking it in the evening is B vitamins can be stimulatory and keep you awake. So that's why I like to take it in the morning time. The other thing I would say is, even if you split it off and did less, B vitamins don't, you usually urinate them out, that same day. So you want to have, that's why you do it every day, I'd say, rather than, even if you split your dose and did less, is better than doing it every other day.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, the B vitamins, it's important to get them daily, so. Any other questions? Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be around, let me know if you have any questions, so.
Yeah, so I just missed some of those vitamins. I was trying to take pictures, but I forgot.
She's got all the
I
information.
didn't get all the vitamins. So if I have the presentation.
Yeah, she'll get you. When do you want to shut up, Joy? We're all set.
Really?
Yep.
Awesome.
That was very good.
You behaved.
You-
He'll, and we'll send you.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you missed the first part, so.